Hi, and welcome to the Next Perfect Step. And my name is Kim.
I'm Lori Tremblay, and today's guest is Kelly Libby. She's a transformational coach and a visionary through mind body work, practicing in New Hampshire. We're happy to have you with us, Kelly.
Hi guys. I'm really excited
Great
to
to
be
have
here,
you.
actually.
Oh,
I'm really
good.
excited to see I'm really excited to see where this conversation goes. You just never know, right?
That's
Right.
true.
Yeah.
That's what we like about it too. Yeah. So how did you get started in your work, and what got you interested in mind body work and transformational work?
Long story short, I've always been really interested in all things metaphysics, psychology, since I was a kid, Pilates, meditation, all those things since I was a kid, like 10 or 12 years old. I was researching that stuff. And then I made a life shift into um, being a holistic health practitioner in I don't know, my late 20s, I think. And then after sitting with so many people, I realized that most of their problems weren't just like in what they were eating and consuming, because it was more like mind body analysis that I was doing, or body systems analysis, where we're just looking at nutrition, we're just looking at lifestyle. But I realized it was their mind that was causing a lot of the problems. Something with their energy was influencing their body. So I started researching things like the subconscious mind and really understanding how that was playing a part in everything, which led me into esotericism and mysticism, researching the energetics of things and the aura and the chakras. And that just was a whole nother body of study. Then when I realized it was also, we have fascia, we have this physical body and how we're holding things in the physical body. So it's just always like chasing the next thing to try to help my clients more, to try to help people in my family, to try to help my mom, to try to help myself and understand myself, because I really wanted to be the best version of me that I could possibly be. And I had my own problems that I was dealing with. And it was just a way to try to figure it out and unlock myself. And that just, I was like addicted to research. I still am. I still love to learn and all the things, but sitting with so many people, like wonderful clients, and really just getting into their mind and their energy and listening to their story just gave me a better perspective on what was going on. And seeing the shifts that happen when we work with the body, that really got me like so interested in more of the soft tissue work and more of just seeing what's possible. What can we unlock? Are these situations permanent? Are these illnesses genetic? Are they permanent? Is this just the way I was born? Can this be changed? And after seeing like everything be able to shift in people, and we'll say miracles happen, it just got me so hooked on the work. And I know that's like a very short summary of 20 years, but that's kind of how I got into it. It was just needing to understand and figure it out and solve problems. And I just knew that there were answers to things that people were like, no, this is just the way that your body is. You're going to have to deal with it. Or this is just the way your money is. You're just going to have to deal with it. This is the way you know, this is just the way you are. You're just going to have to deal with it. I just knew that that was all BS somewhere in my system. And I'm like, I'm going to figure this out. And it's really that need to unlock. It was a need to unlock myself so that I could be liberated, because I could like feel it inside myself, that there's so much inside me that wasn't getting to express itself. And I could feel that bigness inside of me, but I didn't know how to get it out of me. Um, so this was like the underpinning of the work that I was doing and started to do and still continue to this day to do. Because I'm like, we're going to get this out of me. We're going to get it out of my clients. Like we're going to set ourselves free here, because it's so fun when you are free.
That's
So that's
so
kind
true.
of, yeah, that's
Yeah.
kind of been the
Wow.
why. Yeah.
Well, it's interesting that, you bring this up because the first time I worked with you, and I've had the pleasure of working with you,
Yes.
you said that you were the FBI agent to figuring out the core problems. And by
I like
gosh,
that.
you worked so hard at like undoing the layers that I needed to undo in order to find what the real, and it was a different core problem than what I thought that I had.
Yeah.
So you are the FBI agent.
We will find the bottom of this. It's just funner hanging out with people that are unlocked. And
Hmm.
I think, right, we'll bring Dolly Parton into this because why not? People love to be around her because at her core, she knew who she was. She was unlocked at her core. And then that's why it's very healing to be around people like that because
Yeah.
it just sets us free to truly be ourselves. And um, it's so satisfying to unlock somebody or to help them find the root of why that part of them is so tight on the inside, which, as you know, Kim, sometimes we don't even know what the heck it is. We don't know why
Hmm.
we're so locked up until someone starts digging around in there and excavating and seeing like, oh, what else is possible? If we fling this layer open, what else is possible for us? And that's always the question I think that guides the work too is like, well, what else is possible? How much more free can we be? How much more open can we be? And what's that going to look like on me when we get even more free? And what else can I contribute when I am more free? Which is so fun
That's
too.
great.
I know it is fun. And we've talked before about the whole self-empowerment thing, and Lori and
Mm,
I talk about that a lot as well. And, and I know that that's, something that you really feel very passionate about. So, if you could kind of talk to us
yeah.
about like the depth that you go into with that, that would be great.
Yeah. So, like I said, so something that was always really important to me was to know that I could change me and that it wasn't, oh, only if I can hire that coach or only if I can hire that bodywork and only if somebody would tell me, it was really me going in there and saying, no, I'm going to figure it out. I know that like in nature, right? Where there is a poison, there is also the antidote within reach
Yeah.
because that's the way that nature is made. And I started to see that too with our own self, like wherever the poison is inside of us, whatever that might be, the point of view or whatever, the antidote is also within reach. There is nothing that God, universe, higher power is going to withhold from us. And I learned that if you just look around you and tune into yourself, like the answer is there for you. It might be your yoga block. It might be the mirror. But there's something there in your environment that will help you unlock yourself. And what I and I've done so much of that for myself. Yes, I've also worked with amazing people. Like I've done amazing sessions with you, Kim. I've worked with other amazing body workers and things like that. And so those things are definitely helpful. But the root of it, like you've really got to take a hold of things on your own and know that, okay, I found this problem inside myself. Now, who can I choose to help me? And that's a very different approach than going to someone and saying, please figure me out because I can't, because
Mhm.
nobody is going to figure it out and nobody is going to want to figure you out, is the thing. And from that mindset, we actually aren't even willing, most people aren't even willing to do the work because they didn't want to even look inside themselves at first to see if they could find out what it was. They want someone else to figure it out for them and do the work for them and probably do the exercise for them and whatever it might be. But that's not a mindset that's going to get us anywhere. And when we decide like, okay, I want to be the best that I can be, or I want to be more loving, I want to be more free, I want to be whatever it is you want to be. Um, when we decide to like actually look inside and find where we're hung up about that, then that's the first step. And once we take that first step, we can then choose someone to help us get through that. We can read about it. We can research it. There's so much free information out there. We can reach out to people. We can pray about it. We can do whatever we need to do about it. But the thing is, when we know that we've got the power and we know that the antidote is in reach, we're really unstoppable. And really, this, one of my favorite teachers says, like, the sky isn't even the limit with what we can do with ourselves when we're willing to take responsibility for ourselves. Responsibility, though, does not mean I'm just going to go at it alone, because that's not helpful either. Been there, done that. And really, like, we do need community. We do need to reach out to people. Sometimes we do need somebody to witness us. Sometimes we do need someone to lay their hands on us. Sometimes we do need a modality, but we come there with our own piece of it, with our own sense of responsibility that, okay, I'm here to resolve this. And, these people are going to help me. So personal responsibility, but also knowing that we can reach out to people. But yes, this is like the sense of self-empowerment that I love, that we really can do anything when we're willing to take responsibility for ourselves. Is the thing.
That's excellent. I love that. And I think that so many people, like, we've been taught to stay small and to, self-talk about ourselves is, negative self-talk. We have to learn to be positive and just to, like you said, let go and just realize we're amazing and we're unlimited and unstoppable. So I love that you said that.
Yeah. And I was, who did I say this to? I might have said this when I had my last session with Kim, actually. Maybe it was, maybe not. You remember. But it was this idea of, yes, we can get like so contracted and fit ourselves into these boxes. I've got to be like this, and I've got to say it like this. And I've got to show up like, into all these little boxes, which is confining to our soul and very frustrating to our soul. And then we try to go in and see if we can like cut this box open and then cut this box open. And that way is fine to do things. But what if we could just soften the edges of all the boxes and dump water on make them soggy? Or if we could just soften the edges of all the boxes and just be like, okay, universe, I'm willing to experience myself. I'm ready to receive all of myself into this being. And so then my only work is to then like expand my container so that I can hold like the magnitude of what I am. And I find that when we ask questions and set intentions like this, it resolves the need to do all of the self-help work, because self-help work is great, but eventually we have to get into like our living era where we're done digging around in the dirt and finding and doing the shadow work and doing the thing where we've just got to go into living, because life will bring up the stuff. Life will bring up the problems. Life will bring up our blocks. Life will bring up our glass ceilings. And that's why I love doing experiences like the photo shoots, because the experience itself will bring the stuff to the surface, right? But what if we could, in those moments where we're feeling confined, if we could just take a breath and be like, okay, I'm ready to receive all of me. I'm ready to behold all of me. I'm willing to like experience something other than the smallness. And instead, what do I have to do to receive my bigness, to hold all of it? And I find like those questions and the intention behind them is much more effective sometimes than trying to find out like, well, what's wrong with me? or why am I being so small? Or why am I feeling so confined? And that, you saying that, Lori, just set me on that little rant right there. That little tangent about smallness. Cause we do and I've done this, like go in and feel like, okay, I'm feeling blocked here. What is this about? And those things are fine. But I think that asking the question of how do I expand to hold all of my bigness in this situation? And is this idea behind this smallness really worthy of building the foundation of my life upon? We find that no is the answer. And then we can just like snip it away. I just happen to have scissors in front of me. We just like cut it away.
That's scary.
I also have a stapler here. We'll see if we can bring this in. You just like try to like snip those things away that just don't serve us, and not spend so much time trying to decode it, defrag it, and mark it down. And also, of course, hanging out with other people who are liberated in the ways that we might not be yet is is really helpful when it comes to like getting free and getting back into our bigness like we
And
were once.
yeah, the feeling of it too is so beautiful when you just feel free, like you feeling, expanded, and as opposed to when you're feeling contracted and sad, but just that amazing freedom that you feel
Yeah.
inside. Yeah.
And I
The
think that
flow.
really, that has to come down with like your self-acceptance. That's just what I'm gathering now. It's like the more you just accept yourself and what you feel in the moment, and the more expansive you are.
Mhm.
And don't you think that like things like religion and schools and work ethics and all of that kind of put us into those boxes
Oh yeah.
that we think that like if you're married you have to be this way as a wife or a husband, if you're a mother you have to be this way with your children, or and and for me I'm not a religious person, and I've always felt like the quote God and higher self is everywhere around us. It's a part of like every single living being. And when you can look at others in their what is the word I'm looking for? Totality. Like that's not wholetality. Like their whole being.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
or their hotel.
Or
Um,
whatever.
I know, but if you can look at somebody as in their pure self of who they really are, and you can see them as that and not judge it and like sit back and say,
Yeah.
okay, they are part of nature. They are part of this, place where we're all pieces of the divine.
Hmm.
And that for me is freedom. And that
Yeah.
I think does come from that self-empowerment of
Yeah.
it's my responsibility. And I love that whole thing you said about personal
Yeah.
responsibility, because I
Mm.
personally think that is what's lacking a lot in our society, is that, oh, like you said earlier, so and so is going to fix my problem.
Hmm.
This pill is going to fix my problem. This
Hmm.
practitioner is going to fix my problem. I don't really have to earn that money because I'm hurt right now. So the government's going to fix that problem. And
Yeah.
we know how that goes.
Yeah.
So it's like the minute that we take that personal responsibility and we move into that area of, no, I've got this, and I've got this because I am in this earth that everything in it, including the rocks and the solid matter things, all have that divine ability.
Yeah.
That's, I think, when we feel the most free.
Yeah. The answer is there. And yeah. And to add to what you're saying, that idea of basically looking for the good in people and how it sets you free. Exactly. Because when you're looking for, every time that we judge, we're actually squishing down our own energy. And you see this, and I
Yes.
know that's like kind of a cliche thing to say, like, judge not lest you be judged, whatever. But this is the thing that happens inside of us. Like, if we judge somebody, it's a damper inside our own energy where we're squishing our own self down. Like,
Mm.
if we're not allowing someone to be everything they are, even if it's like mean and nasty, we're still
Right.
we're still dampening ourselves down. So if we just look for the good in people and let go of everything else. No, we don't have to like be best friends with everybody, but we can look for the good in people, and that actually keeps us liberated. It's like David Guyam, who teaches the Kabbalah. He says that every time you use like nasty words towards somebody or judgment towards them, you're taking on some of their karma.
I like that. I think
So
that's true. Yeah.
zip
Wow.
your mouth unless you want to carry that karma. And this is why when we judge people a lot, we get heavy, because we're taking on energy that's not ours. So the best thing that we can be to keep ourselves a clear channel is to not judge, just take a breath if someone's being cranky and do what we need to do, but stay out of our little judgy Judgerson heads. I mean, and we want to ultimately keep our energy open,
Right.
right? We want to keep our
Right.
energy open. And I see this, one of those sneaky places, this is just coming in for me to say, so I'm going to say it. One of those sneaky places that where we might not notice that we're dampening our own energy is when and I see this in the space, especially with women, not you guys, but I mean out there in the world of women, where there's this kind of like, I don't know if it's like a sisterhood wound or something, but where we can't celebrate other women. You know, we can't, if a woman's like walking around feeling really good in her body, and a woman is inside judging her, like, oh, look at her, who does she think she is? Like, that woman is dampening her own energy intensely because she's not allowing herself to be liberated in that area. If somebody is doing something really good and succeeding, and we can't honestly be like, God, good for you, this is amazing, what we're doing, we're taking all the opportunity that might be available to us and we're squishing it down inside of ourselves. So whenever we can celebrate another person, we're liberating ourselves also in that area. And this is just a really important place to be self-aware. Whatever we allow in others, we can allow in ourselves. Otherwise, we're squishing it down inside of ourselves and denying ourselves the freedom that we see somebody else have. And this is just one of those, like I said, one of those sneaky places where we see judgment and comparison sneak up, is when we can't celebrate each other for the gifts that we have. You know, we can't congratulate each other. We want to, some people want to pull people down into their little crab bucket. But I think, people in this arena, like, we're having this wonderful conversation, and, these conversations help us be in a space where everyone's celebrating each other, right? We all have different gifts. We all have different God-given gifts. We all bring something different to the table. And I think it's so important to celebrate each other and our gifts and encourage each other in our gifts, because then it sets us free to do so. And that's a little secret practice that I have that keeps setting me free more and more and more, is when I invest time into people and celebrate the crap out of them and help them see themselves as beautiful, as successful, as gifted, as talented. And that's why I do some of this work that I do, is because I want people to know the power that's inside of them. Plus, it sets me free. It's like a full circle. Some people don't know, but now you know.
Well, I love that because because you did that with me, and
Yes.
and I love working with you on both sides, me working with you and you working with me.
Yes.
Because I feel like you are always very aware of not just seeing certain talents in me and certain beauty in me, but that you're willing to say it, and then you have the talent of figuring out how to show it. And that's that piece to it, I think, that kind of blew me away, because I mean, I went so outside. My box wasn't just soggy, it was like blown apart.
Destroyed.
Destroyed. You destroyed my box.
I love it.
I mean, I never wore makeup. I still don't really, but but I did that day.
About the process of it.
So yeah, so when you and I met, and you got to the FBI core of my situation, it that broke free from some of the reasoning why I was struggling with abundance and this and that. But what it opened up, when you started to see things in me that I didn't see, then it started opening up the inner knowing that I knew that I had, and that I was aware of, but that I was afraid to celebrate. And so you took me and you worked on the fascial stuff, the stuff that really opened up a lot of the things that were stored in my body. And it was such a process. You did that first, which was a good thing, because if you had started with the makeup, I probably would have been like, oh, there's no way you are taking a picture of me. And then you went to the physical beauty part of it, which, I was really insecure about myself. And, I've always kind of been a size 4, and now I don't know, because I wear stretchy pants all the time, but a lot bigger than I used to be. and a lot, and I'm gray hair now, and and I'm older.
Which is
And
beautiful gray hair, by the
well,
way.
Yes,
thank you.
yes,
Thank
yeah.
you.
It is gorgeous gray hair.
Thank
It's
you.
beautiful.
But you took it up, but see what I mean? She's doing it now too. Yeah. But it was just you really saw that inner and and the work that and you'd been to some of my horse workshops and
Yes.
things and demonstrations, and we worked together that way. And so you saw that connection, but you were able to pull it all together and then do a photo shoot with that, and catching that part of me that was able to express that physical beauty that may or may not be there, but it didn't matter at the point because I felt it. I
Yeah.
felt beautiful.
Yeah.
And that was a huge gift for me. I've never
Yeah.
had that
I love
experience
that.
before. So,
I love that.
that whole inner power and, like that really, it was very life-changing for me, I have to
Yeah.
say. So
I
thank
think
you.
you're welcome. No, it's like, it is really one of my like favorite things to do for people is to help them see what I see, because I think like a woman who feels beautiful is the most beautiful energy on the planet. I mean, she just brings light into every room that she goes into, and everyone wants to be around her. And I think sometimes we don't know where to look for beauty. We're looking for it in one place. We're looking for it like, okay, what does my skin look like? Like that's where we're looking for beauty. Or like, what does my body look like? That's where we're looking for beauty. But beauty is in so many other places. And I think the one of the messages behind underneath the photo shoots is I want to show people where the beauty is, because it's not just in our physical aesthetic. It's somewhere else. It's in, and you've seen in the pictures that I've sent you, they're breathtaking. Even the ones I haven't sent you yet, you're like, that's me. But yes, because the beauty is in you as a spirit. It's in you as a woman who is a collection of everything that she's lived. It's you. Yes, you have absolutely stunning hair, and you're beautiful anyways.
Mhm. Well, thank you.
We're stemming, we're stemming that beauty from who you are,
Right.
and that's
That's what it
the most
felt.
important
Yeah.
thing. And then there's no questioning it. You can not wear makeup and still feel that, feel that beauty and that importance and that reverence. And I want people to have reverence for themselves. I want people to be like, wow, I am a gift from God, and I have some incredible skills here and some incredible insights and some incredible things to say. And I'm going to do everything I could possibly do with it in this vessel of my body. That's
Yeah. And it is the
important.
feeling. It's the feeling and the energy. And like you
Yeah,
said, there's nothing more beautiful than a woman who feels beautiful, and it's the
exactly.
energy. Yeah. I
Yeah.
love that.
Everyone wants to be around a woman who feels beautiful.
It's true. Yeah, it's true.
Except people that are cringy, then nobody
Or
wants to
yeah.
be around them. No one wants to be around them either. So who cares about them? Who cares about
Well,
what
and
they
I
think?
think that's when a person doesn't want to celebrate another person, it's more from a jealousy and more
Yeah,
from an insecurity. And like you said, it squashes them down even more.
it
And,
does.
yeah.
Which
So,
is why that's why I say it's so important to like track, be self-aware. You know what I mean? Like when we start to feel jealous, which we can, we're
mhm,
humans, we're
right.
humans, but to check ourselves, when we are feeling jealous, and see if we can instead celebrate that person, and just see like we're jealous because they're liberated in a place that we're not liberated yet, or they're free in a place where we don't feel free yet. That's all it's showing us. And
Hmm.
then, okay, how can I adjust that for myself? How can I receive more of myself here? And is cutting myself off from that freedom, say someone's really successful in a way that you want to be successful, and we're jealous about it, is cutting yourself off and feeling jealous, is it a foundation worthy of building your life upon? No. you know
Exactly. Yeah.
and get to the bottom of it. You're afraid your mom's going to get mad at you, you're afraid someone's going to judge you. Let's find out what it is and just resolve it. because it's never a reason good enough to build the foundation of our life upon.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. And I'm super excited about doing your photo shoot, Lori.
Oh, me too.
So I'll tell them a little bit about what I do. I do work on people's bodies. I'm moving more into teaching that and instructing that now. But what I'm doing now, what my biggest love is doing the photo shoot. So what we do is we work on the soft tissue of the face and the neck to kind of like let our guard down and be open to an experience. And then we do your makeup, and we're just amplifying the beauty that's already there. We're not caking on, TV makeup so that you look different than who you really are. We're just dialing up the beauty and amplifying the beauty that's already there. We do wardrobe, and then we do our photo shoot, and we do some coaching out there too to just let you really take up space and practice being all of you. Because I want to hold a space where you feel safe to be all of you, where you feel safe to be like, I'm hot. And know that you're going to be like, yeah, you are. Where you feel celebrated and supported in an environment to be all that. So that's the experiences that I'm offering now, as well as consulting and teaching body work and doing some body work and intuitive readings, intuitive consulting. I do those sorts of things as well, which I love.
So do you have a website or some place that people could see more about what you do and get in touch with you?
My Instagram is the place to find me. That's where I keep the latest and the greatest, which is Kelly M. Libby on Instagram. I haven't decided if I'm going to put my website back up or not. I don't know. But Instagram is where you'll find all the things, all the work, all the latest ramblings and teachings and things like that.
So do you do online teaching, or do you do it all in person?
I do both.
Both.
I do both.
Okay.
So I do in-person instruction with the bodywork, in-person instruction. And then actually I just am releasing this week a 30-day, it's a DIY course where I teach you how to do the bodywork on yourself with like a cork or bamboo yoga block. So instead of my elbow, you'll be using a yoga block. Right now, we're specifically working on the heart line and the legs. So not only will it change the tissue, it will change your legs, it will change your arms. It'll give you nice arms and nice legs, but also we're moving all the energy that gets stuck in there, which is fear, which is holding a lot of people, feeling responsible for other people. Things like that get stuck in the chest. So it'll be 30 days where you'll be going step by step. You'll get a class downloaded, and then you can just take the class whenever you have time. Will you be using the block on yourself to unlock that part of your hand, your arms or your legs? You can pick one. And then in tandem with it is a 21-day course where it's a meditation experience where we're letting go of stuff. So we're inhaling the light and exhaling the gunk, because this is one of the reasons, and I was just talking about this morning on one of my rants, this is one of the reasons why we collect age on the body, is because we don't always let go of things soon enough. And that causes the contraction, that causes the emotion that gets stuck on the face. And, if we hold a contraction long enough, the muscles, the tissue remembers it, and it begins to just become part of who you are. And then it feels cringy. And these are like, I call them the wet blankets that get put over our energy, where this big light, and then life happens, situation happens, disagreement happens, and the wet blanket goes on us. And we hold that like emotion or that projection from the other person or that blame, whatever it is. And this meditation experience is going to teach you how to just let go of it, because your cellular health depends on that. Your ability to get the exchange, the light in and the yuck out, the light in and the yuck out at a cellular level depends on your ability to soften yourself and let stuff go, and know that at the end of the day, you're okay. We're humans, we're learning. Everything doesn't have to be perfect. We get the lesson, and then we just keep keeping on. We got to keep keeping on. The show must go on. So We roll off it, we forgive ourselves, and we move on. So it's like a 21-day thing in Telegram where every day you get a little meditation, you just push play and take yourself through the process. So that's my latest thing that I'm doing. Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah.
I always like to teach things that I need myself in the moment.
Yeah, I think I do that too.
This is what we're doing today, kids. It'll be great.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. We all need that. Yeah,
we do.
We
Yeah,
do. Yeah.
we all need
We
that
do.
for sure.
Sometimes we need
Yeah.
a little structure with our
Right.
practice. I know I do.
Yeah.
A little accountability.
I know structure is good. Yes, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll put all of that information down at the bottom in the links below so that if people want to go and check that out, they can.
Yeah.
So,
I'll make sure I get that out, you guys.
Is there anything else you'd like to add to our viewers and listeners before we close?
Is there anything else in the ethers that wants to channel through here? No, I mean, the funny thing that comes in right now is mind your business. and I think that's because, because we work with energy and when we're doing body work, it's flushing out just accumulated junk. Like you guys know, you guys are both energy practitioners. Whatever we're doing, it's flushing out junk and it's recalibrating us to what's actually true, right? Whether it's our own truth, whether it's divine, it's flushing out the junk and realigning to what's true. And I think one of the best points of view we can have to kind of try to keep ourselves there in the first place is to mind your business, mind your side of the street, stay connected to what's important to you, because TV, social media can get us so distracted into everyone else's business, into what everyone else is doing, into what everyone else tells you should be worried about or what you should think, and what all these scare tactics, all the things, right, that can just accumulate our brain and our mind space away from what's actually true, which is everyone else, everyone has their own set of values and what's important to them and the things that they care about. And it's a more important time than ever to just stay connected to what's true for you and what's important for you. And don't even subject yourself to the other stuff, because it's just going to take you off your track. And the biggest and the best you'll ever be is not trying to be like someone else, is not trying to be what TV or social media or whatever tells you that you should be. It's being exactly what you're meant to be in the way that you're meant to be that. But the only way you're ever going to know what that is if you keep the stuff out and stay connected to yourself and keep breathing in the good, out with the yuck, and just keep taking a chance on yourself and keep moving, keep saying yes to yourself, and don't be afraid to fail and just keep moving forward. That's what comes through as the message.
I feel so good hearing that. Thank you. Wow.
I know. It's like relief.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay, good. Otherwise, it's a lot to carry.
That's great advice. Great advice for sure. For sure.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Well, thank
Kelly.
you guys so much for having me on. This was fun.
Yeah.
I like having conversations too with other wise women who are in the realm of expression and energy and on the path.
That's why we
love that.
Doing this podcast, having these conversations means a lot to us too. We appreciate you. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's so nice when it's in our own community too, so that we can really feel that, immediate sharing, because everything's so far away and online a lot, which is great that we can connect with other people we wouldn't normally, but
it is nice to have that immediate web.
And it's nice to know that there is people in the community that, or there are people in the community that we can go to and can share thoughts and conversation with. So we really appreciate you being on today.
Yes. Thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you. And I also want to just say thank you to the listeners out there. This has been such a blast to do these podcasts with very intelligent, creative, and talented people. And if you want to keep this going, please like and subscribe, give us comments that, help us sort of gear towards what you might be interested in. And until next time,
How is your intuition leading you to the next perfect step?